Now you have achieved something. Your beer is almost ready. You have alcohol, you have a decent flavor, and there's already a little CO2 as carbonation inside. Maybe not sufficient for every beer style. English ales may go okay with that. Standard lagers need more, and the Hefeweizen need even more carbonization. How do we achieve that? Well, now the fermentation was open. If we go to a secondary fermentation, which means we digest more sugar into alcohol and CO2, we do it under pressure, because then we make the CO2 soluble. You would say we just go at the right time with 1 degree Plato of sugar before final attenuation left into the bottle, and then we let it ferment. But then you have to measure. You need the refractometer, 3 drops of young beer. You need to make a quick fermentation to know when it's finished. Then you can say, okay, that's the right point to fill. But don't forget, there is a mistake involved. The alcohol has to be calculated out of the equation. If you are not feeling sure about this process, you can still take some wort after the final boil, like 5%. You freeze it. I know there will be an underpressure. It's not good for the bottles, but it's important to freeze it because there's so much sugar inside, it could be an infection risk and also bad for the final flavor. Now you take your primary fermenter, you open the tap quickly just to get rid of some remaining yeast in the tap itself, and then you fill it maybe in a secondary one. With the unfrozen wort, you add it, you mix it, and then you can fill it from there into the final bottle. There are many helps you can use for filling without foam. Fill it not fully, because you need a little room for compression. But you can close either your flip-top bottle or the crown cork on foam to avoid additional oxidation. If you use a flip-top bottle, don't sterilize it in an oven. It's not good for the insulation. You may use just hot water and maybe some cleaning aids we offer here. The flip-top bottle can be filled with hot water, emptied, and then the hot bottle, if you close the flip-top, then it will, by cooling down, have an underpressure. If it makes a plop afterwards, you know the bottle is safe for carbonation. If you use crown corks, that's far easier. The bottles are pretty clean, and the crowns too. Then you just seal it on the foam. If you are not aware how to use it with wort, you can add always sugar. That may be the easiest way for beginners. The far easiest is carbonation drops. You just add 1 drop per 0.33 liter bottle. Then the dosage should be fine for an average beer style. If not, just saying a teaspoon, a small one, is good enough? No, that's maybe too risky. For a 20 degrees wort or young beer, you may add 6.5 grams per liter of sugar. Then you have maybe about 5 grams per liter CO2, which is good for a standard lager beer. But pay attention, if your beer is not finally fermented, you hit not the right point for the green beer to fill it. If you are not adding the right amount of wort, or if you are adding too much sugar. It's not only the flavor, it's also a risk of overcarbonation. If you open such a bottle, you can renovate your kitchen pretty newly, because it's a lot of foam which can go out. Bottles may also explode. So really be careful with the right point. You take the primary fermented beer into your bottle and the amount of sugar or wort you add. And then it should be fine. Just wait for another week or 2, and then the primary fermentation shall be finished. It's carbonated, you can put it into the fridge. Don't wonder if you have a little sediment of yeast at the bottom. Some people like it, most likely it's not the nicest flavor. Keep it upright in the fridge and dispense the beer without the remainings on the bottom. Then you have made your first beer. Congratulations! What an achievement! Skål!